there, my name's Arvel Lawson. I'm a DEKALB agronomist in central Alberta, and right now I would just like to talk to you a little bit about how to swath DEKALB canola at the right time. So we'll touch on how not to swath based on pod color. 2, we'll look into seed color change on the main stem and also what the side branches are going to look like. And then finally I'll talk a little bit about how to make sure that you're swathing a canola field based on where the bulk of your yield is coming from. So the first thing that I'm touching on is that you can't use pod color as an indicator for when to swath DEKALB canola. The reason that I highlight that is simply because there's other canola hybrids on the market where that yellow color really is a good indicator of solid seed color change happening within those pods. However, with DEKALB, if you use that yellow color as an indicator for when to go in and swath, more than likely you'll be swathing too early. And what that means is you'll be leaving yield on the table, and then it will likely also take much longer for that canola to ripen in the swath and be ready to go in the bin, simply because you use the wrong indicator for when to go in and swath this particular canola. So when we talk about assessing, swathing timing based on seed color change, I completely understand that you can't look at every single canola acre. When there's lots of acres to manage of canola, you really have to pick the representative areas to make your assessment. So when we say 50 to 60% seed color change, the first step is finding your main stem. So this is my main stem on this particular plant, and you look at this and say that's 100% of that main stem. When we say 50 to 60% seed color change, it means that 50 to 60% of the way up that main stem, when you're opening up pods, you're seeing seed color change. From a practical point of view, what that means is typically the bottom third of the stem will have completely black to brown seed inside those pods. The middle third will have more of a speckled, mottled look to it. And then this top third will be typically green, but have firm seed when you pop it open. So you pop open a pod and roll it between your fingers. The other thing to keep in mind with DEKALB canola is a lot of our yield does come from these side branches. So if you're at that 50 to 60% seed color change, what those side branches will have is that you're going to have some seed color change in the lower pods on the side branches. And then as you move up that side branch, you'll typically have, again, firm seed when you roll it between your fingers. And that just allows those plants to make sure they're as close to maturity as possible before you take them down in the swath, and that allows you to capture the best yield and the best quality that you can. So when you're thinking about swathing DEKALB canola at the optimal timing, I completely understand that we're not going to be able to get every plant and every acre at the exact right time. What I really want you to focus in on is how you can achieve the best yield and quality across the bulk of your acres. The way that you can do that is making sure that you're not swathing based on pod color, because you'll be getting in too early for best yield and quality. The second thing I really want you to understand is what does that 50 to 60% seed color change look like on the main stem, and what will the side branches look like at that right timing on the main stem. And then finally, when you're making your assessments, just make sure that you're swathing based on where the bulk of your yield is coming from in the field, and that will be the best way to have great success with DEKALB on your farm.